What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is titled Black Man Destroys CRT in 3 minutes, 100% common sense. Now, I'm not sure where these people are at. I don't know. It's probably a school board meeting or something like that, or a town hall meeting or something. So this issue to him is probably very important because he has children going to an establishment that's teaching ideology, a message that he don't approve of. Now, some people might say you should someone like me shouldn't even worry about that because I don't have children in a school and that's not affecting me. But you know, I mean, it's important to me still because I want kids one day, and you know, they might, and I don't want them in the school system, to be honest, when I do have them, but it's a possibility. So this stuff is important to everybody, really. But with that out the way, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching the video. Now let's get into it.
I'd like to begin my comments tonight by reading a quote, which in essence is the genesis of all of this Black Lives Matter, social justice, CRT conversations we're having in our country today. Quote, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color," close quote. Colin Kaepernick, August 2016. I am the direct descendant of the North American slave.
So let me just pause on that. I don't really take Colin Kaepernick 100% serious. I'm not gonna lie to you, but let me just I guess dissect what he's saying. He says he won't stand for a country, a flag that oppresses black people. Although he's okay, you know, financially. I don't know about in all other aspects of his life, but on surface level, it seems like, you know, he managed to do okay. He's not, you know, he doesn't seem to be oppressed or held down. He's doing pretty well for himself. He goes with the grain of the stereotypical black, you know, notion that you know, America is against us. So that's just interesting. But let's hear this guy explain what he has to say.
I am the direct descendant of the North American slave trade. Both my parents are black. All 4 of my grandparents are black. All 8 of my great-great-grandparents, all 16 of my great-greats. On my mother's side, my ancestors were enslaved in Alabama. On my father's side, we were enslaved in Texas. I am not oppressed.
Okay, so that's interesting to me because he knows a lot about his heritage and where his family comes from. A lot of people say a lot of things and they don't even know exactly, you know, they don't know exactly in detail how he knows. I mean, if you black, you know you black. Obviously, you mixed in with something else somewhere down the line, but he knows the specifics.
I'm not oppressed, and I'm not a victim. I'm neither oppressed nor a victim. I travel all across this country of ours, and I check into hotels, and I fly commercially, and I walk into retail establishments, and I order food in restaurants. I go wherever I want, whenever I want. I am treated with kindness, dignity, and respect, literally from coast to coast.
Now listen to what he's saying. This is just his life experience, right? Sounds like he probably grew up down south. You know, he's talking about Alabama, Texas. It's possible he could be somewhere else, but I'm just assuming he's down south. Somewhere, and he's saying that as he goes through life, he doesn't feel a pressure about being black. He doesn't feel held down. Now, my question to people who think the opposite is that so bad? Is that so wrong just for him to express that that's just not how he feels? There might be other black people who feel oppressed. You know, I'm not going to say they are, but that feel oppressed, that feel differently to him. But why does he have to adopt the way you think? Why is he a whatever you want to label him as? Because his life experiences has told him that, you know, hey, it's good people and it's bad people. It's good bad people, good white people, good bad. It's good white people, bad white people. It's good black people, bad black people. It's this color thing ain't really that important to me. I don't understand what's wrong with taking that position. If there's something wrong with that, explain in the comments below. I'm sure I'll see it.
I have 3 children. They are not oppressed either, although they are victims. I've taught my children they are victims of 3 things: their own ignorance, their own laziness, and their own poor decision making. That is all. My children, we are not.
And also that, right? just because this guy opposes CRT, or let's just say I oppose CRT being taught in schools at a certain age, right? That doesn't mean that there isn't a conversation that could be had about history, about slavery, about the past, about bad things, good things, neutral things. Like, we could talk about that. We could still talk about that. I mean, before CRT was even a hot topic on everybody's tongue, when I was in school, we did talk about that. We covered those times in history. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not in detail as much as some other people might like it to be, but we did cover it. We covered that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Victims of America. We are not victims of some unseen 190-year-old force that kind of floats around in the ether. Putting critical race theory into our classrooms is taking our nation in the wrong direction. Racism in America would by and large be dead today if it were not for certain people and institutions keeping it on life support. And sadly, very sadly, one of those institutions is the American education system. I can think of nothing more damaging to a society than to tell a baby born today that she has grievances against another baby born today simply because of what their ancestors may have done 2 centuries ago.
And it's definitely progressively gotten worse, because when I was in school, like I said, we did Black History Month. We learned about American history. We learned about the Indians. You know, we learned about Columbus, the conquistadors. But it wasn't this. There wasn't this whole woke push or whatever you CRT. All of this. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't around when I was in school. But just from the moment of me leaving, it seems like just so rapidly it became just so pervasive. It became bigger and bigger and bigger.
There is simply no point in doing that to our children. And putting critical race theory into our classrooms in part does that. Putting critical race theory into our classrooms is not combating racism. It's fanning the flames of what little embers are left. I encourage you to support this resolution. Let racism die the death it deserves, and let's keep living the life of the country that we are. Thank you.
TFP student action. That was a very, very interesting video. I like the message that he pushing. You know, what did he say? He said, "You're victims of 3 things." I can't remember what those 3 things were, but if we could push a message like that, I think that's a universal message. We need more universal messages to come together, because when everything's about, oh, you're this color, so you got to do this and you got to do that, that stuff creates division. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say that there's not a different experience going through the world if you are, you know, dependent on your color, because it definitely is. You're gonna experience different things, but at the end of the day, we all bleed the same color, and our time gonna expire at some point. I don't know, man. It's the color thing, just not as important to me as it is to a lot of other people. But that was it for the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe on your way out the door. Till next time, guys, I'm out. Peace.